Welcome, everybody. I have Priscilla Peters on with me again. If you listened last week, she joined me to talk about staging homes. But today we want to talk to you about why is it or is it necessary to use a real estate agent? And Priscilla, I'm going to let you introduce yourself really quickly here for those people who didn't meet you last week.
Last week, right? Lori, thank you again for having me. I do appreciate. I am an independent broker, Priscilla Peters with Peters Colorado Realty. So back in 2015, I decided to go on my own. So I opened up a little shop, my company, and I've been doing since 2012. I got my license. So yeah, that's when we met.
Yeah, long time now. Been business partners for a while.
Yeah,
But
right.
we're going to start with the obvious question for you, Priscilla. In this market, do you really need to use a real estate agent to sell your home?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
I agree with you 100%. And explain to me why you think that is the case.
Well, if we talk about sellers, from the beginning through the closing table, it can be a long process. It can be a short process too. But having an agent who will guide you throughout the entire process from preparing your home and guide
Mhm.
you the best way possible, accepting offers, because typically now you're getting more than one, which would be
Absolutely.
a great scenario, right? So navigate through comparing offers, which one is the best with the best terms for your client. So
Yes.
you help them navigate that. And then after going under contract, there is a lot that we go through, as you know, Lori. And the most important phase, one of it's the inspection phase,
Absolutely.
right? So and then if you don't have the knowledgeable agent by your side to negotiate inspection lists, repairs, it could be daunting for some sellers.
Absolutely. As of late, we've seen the rise of iBuyers, and what iBuyers are, if you're listening and you don't know what that specifically means, that means there are really big investors, real estate companies like Zillow, OfferPads, that are now directly purchasing homes from sellers, and they turn around and sell those homes after they buy it from the seller. But it's like a cash infusion, a quick cash infusion to sellers.
Right.
I think they're a bit misguided on what the benefit is to them. So explain to me a little bit about what you're seeing with iBuyers and how it relates to sellers at this point.
Sellers, they what they do is they go online because these companies are all online, right?
Yep.
Service. So they input some information. Depending on who you're working with, you might upload some photos of your home.
Right.
In a couple days, they will make an offer to the seller according to the photos and the description, the quick description, right, that they put in online. And then if they say yes, let's go ahead, the iBuyer company will send an inspector. So the
Okay.
inspector will check everything, the condition of the home,
Mhm.
and they will come up with a list of repairs. And
Okay.
then it's non-negotiable. You
Right.
accept it, and then if you accept that, let's say 5,000 on the repairs, they will adjust that on in the price, and then they will send you another official offer,
Mhm.
and then you accept. And one thing I want to remind too, Lori, is that iBuyers will use at least 99% of them will use their own contract.
Makes exactly, yeah, and we'll talk speak to that and my experience with that in a minute. But because I think sorry, I have people here. But because people are drawn to like the quickness of the iBuyers and they think it's a cash infusion and they're daunted by the fact that they see real estate agents getting 6% from their proceeds. Tell me what the misconception is. What are sellers missing when they think they're saving with iBuyers?
I understand when sellers think it's convenient
Mhm.
because you don't need to prepare the house, you don't need to put on the market, you don't need to have 100 people going through your house. I get
Right.
that. I get that quickness. I understand, but the typical, if you go with the traditional sale, it's a 6%, right? So portion of
Right.
the 6% of the commission goes to the buyer's agent, and
Yep.
the other portion goes to the listing agent. And this is what people don't know, when I researched the average, with you, if you go with iBuyer, you are paying between 5 to 12%,
It's a
because
lot.
it is a lot, because they forget that besides the service fee, which they don't call commissions, the
Right.
service fee plus those repairs that they come up with, that
Mhm.
list, it gets you up to 12%.
Right.
So yeah, so it is a lot in the
You
end of
know,
the day. Yeah,
I think what sellers are missing too is that because they can't negotiate anything with the iBuyer, they're going to spend more on those repairs. So they're leaving money on the table. And because these companies are turning right around and flipping them after the work has been done, where they could have negotiated, you could have negotiated
yeah,
that with the buyer and made the seller more money.
right. And typically that's what we've been doing. It's been a
Yep.
seller's market forever. So
Right.
sellers do have leverage right now, and that's where the agent comes in and negotiate the repairs. You
Yep.
know, yeah,
And speaking to what you had brought up earlier about the fact that they write their own contracts, I've had issues with iBuyers in my transactions, two in which they use their own title company as well, where
right,
the title company didn't have the buyers sign the closing disclosure, which is a critical document, so they had to go back and sign it. And I had another situation because they're their own contracts. I had a situation where someone bought in the Central Park community that has a community reinvestment fee, and
right,
that is a
right.
substantial fee to
Yeah.
buyers. So
Mm-hmm.
there was no indication as to who was responsible for paying it. And typically it's paid by the buyer, but there is some onus on them for not identifying those costs in their contract. So it leads to confusion, don't you think?
Right. Yes, big time, especially when you come to the closing and then you
Mhm.
you find out that there is another fee you need to pay
Exactly.
list out, right?
Yep.
So my experience I can share with you quickly. For me, it's been the struggle of communication with
Yes.
my buyer. So
Yeah.
you kind of need to go after them to get one answer
Yeah.
for so long, and how you do business that way, it's really, it bugs me a little bit,
I
like the
agree.
service, the customer service is not quite there for them.
Yeah. And this is the single biggest transaction in your life that you're probably going to have. You should
Yeah,
have someone who's dedicated to being there and answering your questions
right.
and navigating this process with you.
With you, exactly. I'm 100%, and
Yep.
that is a lack. If you work with iBuyer, you need to chase them to get an answer, and that can delay closing. That can be a problem for some people.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't think you can understate the importance of working with an experienced real estate in this market. And I will take Priscilla's horn because I've known her a long time. She is fantastic to work with. So Priscilla, if you would share your information, I will leave it in my notes as well, but go ahead and share your information so people know how to contact you.
Oh, Lori, thank you so much. It's always a joy working with you too.
Thanks.
So I am on the social media, Facebook. You can find me under Priscilla Peters or even Peters Colorado Realty. I'm on Instagram too. And
Okay.
my phone number is 720-626-2750. I have a website as well, peterscoloradorealty.com. And yeah, and
Perfect. I will leave it. I will leave that information so everybody can
yeah,
see it as well. But thanks
thank
for
you.
joining me, Priscilla. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Lori.
All right, everybody, have a great day, and we will see you on Friday for the weekend report.
Bye.